This has to be the most anticipated N-scale steam locomotive of 2024 thus far. When I asked Broadway Limited about it a couple weeks ago, they said it was already 75% sold out. It's the N-scale Reading T1 with smoke. Not to be confused with the Pennsylvania T1 duplex, the Reading T1 is a 484 Northern, and she's a biggin'. They were rebuilt from Baldwin 280 I-10 SAs, and they ran revenue service from 1945 to 1964, including the Iron Horse Rambles excursion trains. Of the original 30 T1s, the 4 used in the excursions were preserved to this day: 2101, 2102, 2124, and the one that I have, number 2100. Let's take a look at the model. There's just something about the white-rimmed drivers on some steam engines that just looks good. This model has all the detail you can expect from Broadway Limited. It's got the crisp paint, the separately applied details, and the fantastic sound for N-scale. Let's take a listen.
We're ready to pull. Okay, you can run on maximum authorized speed. Okay, thank you, sir. Here we go. We're all fixed up here. Ready to go. Ready to run.
Now, weirdly enough, my favorite sound that comes out of this locomotive is actually when you're traveling at speed and you dramatically lower the throttle. You get a solid little brake squeal. Now, one thing that you all want to see probably is the smoke. And it's a bit different than the BLI Big Boy smoke unit that I showed a while back. First of all, this is the smallest N-scale locomotive available with smoke, so it's a bit more involved than a simple load and go. They do include a pipette for loading, but I do recommend getting a syringe like this one. Broadway Limited does sell these, so you can just buy them straight from them, or you can get them from places like Amazon as well. I'll link a couple in the description below. The amount you need of smoke fluid is actually quite small. BLI recommends 0.4 milliliters, which is about the same as the big boy, but I tend to go to 0.2 to 0.3 milliliters of smoke fluid. BLI recommends the Markland light smoke fluid. I do use JT's Megastene, and I have not had any issues with it. Just make sure you're using a very lightweight smoke fluid. When you load the smoke, take it off the track. This is recommended by Broadway Limited. Then you need to stick the needle of the syringe in the back of the smokestack behind the smoke burner. Burner? I'm not really sure what it's called. Anyways, stick the needle behind the burner and slowly insert it until you hit bottom. Then raise it slightly and slowly inject your smoke fluid. It is really easy to overfill this smoke unit because it's so small, so watch your amounts. Sometimes you can overfill it and it will cause it not to make smoke. This is because the chamber and mechanism have become saturated. You can try to remove it with a syringe, and if that doesn't work, you'll need to let the smoke unit dry out. It'll still run fine, you just won't be able to smoke. If you're impatient like me, you can take the locomotive off the track and use a bit of canned air to dry it out. Just note that this may get smoke fluid residue everywhere, so you may want to protect the engine. By the way, that's not an official Broadway Limited recommended thing. That's just something that I do. Okay, it's all smoked up. let's turn on the smoke and see what it does. This thing is just a pretty locomotive, and I love it. It's the classic image of a steam engine, and it just looks awesome running on your layout. Let's check out some shots of it running on my layout. Oh, and yes, I know that there's a New York Central caboose on this. I don't have a Reading caboose yet. The T1 did fine on the endurance test, no issues there. The T1 is a nice locomotive, and I really enjoy mine. It has stayed on the layout for the past few weeks for fun running, in addition to every other locomotive I've taken on and taken off. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.